This is He Knows the Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the what? On the X. We keeping the foot on the what? On the X. Listen, man. Errol the True Spence is going to boop. Danny Garcia's Cherry Part 28. Let me say it again. Errol the True Spence is going to boop. Danny Garcia's Cherry Part 28. Hear me? Hear me? Ah. Greatness personification can only be hindered. Greatness personification can't be stopped. Let me say it again. Greatness personification can only be hindered. Greatness personification can't be stopped. That's the title of this video. Errol the True Spence went through a car crash. Errol the True Spence basically had to go through what we call a second wind, a second proverbial back end of his boxing career. And now he's gotten his second wind. Look what this man is doing. He's dedicated. He's back on his shit. He's eating, he's sleeping, and he's damn near shitting fucking boxing. Let me say it again. He's eating, he's sleeping, and he's damn near shitting fucking boxing. This guy right here is proving the standard. See, there's a standard in boxing that has been left, that has been gone and been pushed to the wayside. Fight fans need to start giving Errol the True Spence respect because he's bringing back a standard. He's basically being a standard bearer and a trendsetter in boxing that has been left from the sport. We have not seen this since Floyd Money Mayweather, who told us all work is easy work. See, the Rudy Poo and Plum Plum Brains, classic Dolce and Troglodytes, ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy red, they didn't understand that. Hard work is easy work. They thought Mayweather was dumb. They thought Mayweather was illiterate. But when you really think about that, hard work is easy work. That means if you do the hard work in the fucking gym, then it's easy work in the fucking ring. What I said was so deep and profound. Let me let that marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. Hear me? Hear me? Well, when Floyd Mayweather would say hard work is easy work, what he was basically denoting and saying was that the hard work you fucking do in the gym is easy work when you step into the square circle because you've already done the hard work. This is a Michael Jordan dichotomy of greatness personification. MJ used to talk about this when he was on the basketball court. You do all of the hard works. MJ used to basically play against himself and shoot clutch baskets. Kobe did the same shit too, as if they were in game scenarios. This is how they would train, so that when they got to the game and they were in that position, it was easy. It was habitual. They made clutch situations. They made high pressurized and high degree of order of situations easy, seamless. This is the standard that Errol the True Spence brought back to boxing, brought back to the welterweight division. And fight fans need to thank Errol the True Spence because he gave them a Mr. Free Smoke line-em-up fashion of Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao, and Terrence Bud Crawford. And look, he went and not only 8-miled that initially, he ethered it on the back end. Okay, Manny Pacquiao, you done ducked me 4 fucking times, so guess what? I'm gonna do the substitution. Danny Garcia, Terrence Bud Crawford, and then run that motherfucker back with Sean Porter. You see? This is what true alpha extraordinaires that are governed by true alpha economics do. Let me say it again. This is what true alpha extraordinaires do that are governed by true alpha economics. They always have a contingency plan. And then they set a standard that everyone follows. This is why Errol the True Spence is the big fish of the welterweight division. This is why he's the rock star. And come November 21st, Danny Garcia is going to get his fucking cherry pop. Danny doesn't belong in the ring with Errol Spence. He's too flat-footed. He throws a right hand, no look, left hook. This guy right here does not let his hands go. And he has one fucking gear. That is what we call a recipe for disaster. Let me say it again. That is what we call a recipe for disaster. When you're fighting the megalodon shark in the ocean, you better make sure that you're a megalodon shark variation yourself. Here's the problem. The megalodon shark is a predator. It has no predators. Let me say it again. The megalodon shark is the fucking predator. It has no predators. So the bottom line is this. When we look at the cold-hearted, we look at the unadulterated, and we look at the cutthroat true-teller fashion of Errol the True Spence being an every-gear fighter that has every facet of the game. He can pop shot. He can jab on so many different variations. He can do a blinding jab. He can do a looping jab. He can do basically a stiff jab. Errol the True Spence can move laterally. Errol the True Spence can fight in close quarters. Errol the True Spence works the fucking body. Errol the True Spence is the most technically and fundamentally sound fighter in the game. And he is a body snatcher 2.0 iteration that we haven't seen since the likes of Marvin Hagler. And he's a coach's dream. He does everything that his coach asks him to do. Then we have Danny Garcia, that has basically had his father's 10 years too late. Let me say it again, because that needs to marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. Hear me? Hear me? Well, he has had his father 10 years too late. He should have changed and got quality trainers. See, this is the problem with a lot of these father and son comparisons. A lot of these sons don't get it. Their fathers are not the right person in their corner. Sean Porter, Kenny Porter, another scenario. Teofimo Lopez and Teofimo Lopez Sr., another scenario. You see where I'm going with this? Bill Haney and Devin Haney, another example of this. A lot of fighters should not be their son's trainers. They can be in the team, but they got to know their role, know their place, operate in that motherfucker, and live in that motherfucker. The bottom line is this. When we look at Errol the True Spence and we look at the language, the body language that this guy's talking about, and we look at the body language that Danny Garcia is talking about, just off the strength of that PBC on Fox interview, it told you everything you need to know on who's going to bulldoze and who's going to steamroll the other. We see the delineation. We see the distinction. We see the gulf, and we see the separation on a guy that is Mr. Tactical Aggression, Mr. Technical Punching Placement, and Mr. Body Snatching Work, the Levy and Onslaught of the punishment style, and a guy that's been a cherry fucking picker his whole boxing career. The bottom line is this. Come November 21st, Errol the True Spence is going to boop Danny Garcia's chair. This is He Knows the Sport. Check it out.